Good Tuesday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Finally, the skies are starting to clear out a little bit. We're getting a little bit of sunshine back into southeast Texas, and we'll see a little bit warmer temperatures today. Don't put the umbrella away just yet, though, as we're expecting to see rain move in as we head towards Thursday and Friday, and then the weekend looks dry. So kind of up and down week as far as rain chances and temperatures and things like that. But overall, it looks like a pretty good week, a little bit on the cool side, and we need the rain. So a couple of doses of some rain this week is probably a pretty good thing for us. Let's look at the forecast for the rest of the day, and we clear out the clouds, see a little bit of blue there in the skies, and we'll see temperatures respond by pushing up into the 50s for this afternoon. Back down into the upper 40s by 6 o'clock, lower 40s by 10 o'clock, and looking at lows for tonight, back down into the 30s. So it's going to be a cold start heading in towards your Wednesday. Wednesday looks pretty dry, and then here comes the rain on Thursday into Friday, and we'll show you more about that coming up a little bit later on. Our allergy report, hey, this is looking pretty good compared to what we have been seeing. Been seeing a lot of high and medium. Look at this, everything's low for today, so that helped. The rain helped wash out some of those pollen readings out there, so not looking too bad for today. Everything's on the low side from tree, weed, grass, and mold. Outside, we're starting to see the skies break up, and we're starting to see a little bit of blue in between some of the clouds. This is the view, of course, up in Jasper, the Jasper County Courthouse. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And winds are also calming down just a little bit. Earlier, I was looking at this camera shot, and the winds were pushing those trees back and forth a little bit. Now it looks like those winds are starting to die down a little bit once we start to see that drier, cooler air push in here. But still a few branches there swinging in the wind, but overall not looking too bad up there in Jasper as we start to see the sun break out and those clouds get a little bit thinner. Same deal as we head down towards Port Arthur. Starting to see some blue in the sky, some sunshine. This camera brought to you by Market Basket as we look down into Port Arthur, the Intercoastal Waterway. Had a couple of big ships go down the Intercoastal a little bit earlier this morning. It was pretty nice to see. By the way, any of these cameras, you can check them out on our website, 12newsnow.com, and you can go just search webcams, and you can pull these up full screen and just kind of set them there on your desktop and kind of watch what's going on as you maybe do some work on something else or whatever. I do that some days where just pull up some of the cameras and just kind of watch the camera for a little while. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know. And here's the view over in the Horseman's Western Store over in Orange. And you notice we have a little bit more cloud cover there. Over towards the Sabine River, those clouds are kind of hanging in there. So Orange up to, I'd say, Deweyville, and then on up Sabine River, maybe even towards Newton, still seeing a little bit more cloud cover there as we see temperatures in the 40s. Currently 44 at the Horseman's Western Store in Orange. But if you look down the road there, down the interstate, you can see a little bit of sunshine. So the clouds are breaking up just a little bit over in Orange. Winds are out of the north at 5. And we haven't had any rain, not expecting any rain today as those clouds, like I said, start to clear out. The rain returns late tomorrow. And then here's a look from Packer-LaPrade at the Port of Beaumont as skies are starting to clear there on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Currently 45, north winds at 12 downtown, humidity dropping at 69%, so not looking too bad there. All right, let's take a look at current temperatures, and we're in the 40s. We're going to make our way up into the 50s, though, later on today. 45 right now in Silsbee and also Kirbyville, as well as Beaumont here. 43 in Orange and Jasper, 44 in Woodville, and then 47 in Port Arthur. Now that the sun is finally starting to break out, these numbers should quickly climb up into the lower 50s as we head towards maybe about 1 o'clock this afternoon. High pressure building in, still have some high level clouds you can see skirting across parts of South Texas, and we'll see those probably through a good portion of the afternoon. Our cold front is now pushed off towards the south and east, and it's working its way off towards Florida and the East Coast, where they're seeing some active weather, especially up in the parts of New England. You can see all the rain now shifting off the southeastern coast, but still pretty rainy up and down the eastern seaboard. And then once you get up into New England here, it switches over to snow. They're getting some pretty good snows up into western parts of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, up into Maine, which is good news for the ski resorts up there. They could use some snowfall. It's been pretty dry, so good news for them. And then once you get away from the East Coast, things are starting to quiet down. Still looking at some snow that's been left over through parts of the up the Great Lakes, and you can still see some of these weather advisories now kind of shifting over towards the east coast. And then we have another storm system up towards, say, the Pacific Northwest, northern Rockies. You can see the winter weather advisories there in the purple boxes through parts of Idaho, Montana, and in towards the northern plains. Starting to see some snow now through parts of South Dakota and also Wyoming. So they're starting to see a little bit of snow. And the Rocky Mountains got some snow out of this storm system that passed us by yesterday. So good news for them. It's good news for the ski resorts there in the Rockies. Hopefully they'll catch some more snow here over the next 4 or 5 days. Our futurecast takes us out of the 40s and into the 50s this afternoon, 53, 54. This shows sunny skies, but we'll go partly cloudy to mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds left over. And then as we head towards this evening, temperatures dipping back down into the 40s and then eventually the 30s going into tomorrow morning. See generally some middle to upper 30s. We might see temperatures getting a little close to freezing though up in the northern parts of Jasper, Newton County. So if you have any plants, things like that, you might want to bring those in as we get into the overnight hours, because we'll be maybe a little frosty up there. The rest of the area, you don't have to worry about any frost or getting near freezing, but if you have a pet that's outside, you definitely want to make sure that they're taken care of. It's going to be cold tonight, so make sure they're taken care of. If you had a place for them this morning, that's good. You just put them back in the same place for tonight, as temperatures are going to be down there well into the 30s. Now clouds increase as we head through tomorrow, and then eventually we'll start to see some rain move in here. It's going to be warmer tomorrow. We'll be in the 60s, and this is showing maybe some light rain by 5 o'clock. I think it might come in a little bit later than that. At least that's what some of the computer models are indicating. We'll have to track it tomorrow, but it looks like the majority of the day is going to be dry. So outdoor plants I think will be okay tomorrow, a little bit warmer. It's late tomorrow night that we'll start to see some of that rain. That rain's going to stick around through Thursday into Friday. Along the coast, right at Texas Point now, north winds at 16, gusting to 18. Water temperature there at 65. We do have a small craft advisory with a north wind at 15 to 20 knots. Seas anywhere from 3 to 4 feet there along the coast. Next high tide's 2:20 for this afternoon, and then we have one late at 11:34. Our sunset's at about 5:16. Even though we'll see some sunshine, it's going to be kind of rough there on the inland lakes and bays for today. All right, let's run down your forecast. Partly cloudy through the afternoon with north winds at 5 to 10. Temperatures today anywhere from lower 50s to middle 50s across southeast Texas. And then for tonight, it gets pretty cold with temperatures down around the freezing mark or close to it up in the lakes area. We'll be in the middle 30s towards inland southeast Texas. We're talking about Hardin County, southern Jasper, Newton County, and then for the triangle, middle to upper 30s out there for tomorrow morning. So definitely need to bundle up. Make sure the little ones, if they're jumping on the bus, have on a coat for tomorrow morning. All right, here's our 7-day forecast. And as we look at our 7-day forecast, you notice 64 tomorrow as clouds start to increase. And then our weather impact alert is for Thursday into Friday. Now, we're not looking at severe weather here. We're just looking at weather that's going to be a big inconvenience as far as rain throughout the day on Thursday, kind of like what we saw yesterday. Could pick up a half an inch, an inch of rain here and there across the area. Temperatures at least are going to be a little bit warmer than we saw yesterday. Instead of the 40s all day long, we'll get up to about 60. So it'll be a little bit warmer, but it's still going to be raining throughout the day. And then that rain will linger into Friday, and that's going to be the first half of the day on Friday. Should be clearing out by late in the morning, if not the early afternoon. And then I think Friday night will be fine, especially if you have some area football games to go to, a playoff game, especially if you're west of Beaumont here. The rain will clear out even earlier than that, so looking pretty good there. Saturday looks nice, 64, partly cloudy. Same deal for Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 70, and then on Monday, 64. So just a couple more days of some rain. Like I said, could pick up another inch of rain, which would be good. We picked up about 2 or 3 inches since the last couple of rains we've had, so another inch would be a good thing for us here in southeast Texas. All right, we're going to put a number here at the bottom of your screen, 409-749-9302. That number will get you